Do you really need four-wheel drive? Let's get into it. It's a common misconception that you need four-wheel drive for off-roading, for running Prerunner style trucks, Raptor style trucks, playing out in the desert, going to Glamis, Pismo, running in the sand, and so on. And a lot of people spend extra money to get to that four-wheel drive platform, and they may not even need it. I'll tell you one thing, social media makes everyone think that they need four-wheel drive. Between guys that are either opting to build or buy a four-wheel drive truck, people running spools, 40-inch tires, having the right tread pattern on their tires for traction. The reality of it is 95% of the time these trucks live on the street, and some of them that do occasionally hit the dirt, they don't even spend that much time off-road. And a lot of them that do get off-road, it can be desert trails like this one, fire roads, access roads, situations where four-wheel drive is not needed at all. And a lot of people would really be surprised to how well a two-wheel drive properly set up truck can perform. I just got done doing Barstow to Laughlin and climbing up some stuff that a four-wheel drive Raptor did not make it up. And he had 39-inch tires, all the traction and so on. I was in a two-wheel drive, did have a spool on 37s, and barely made it, but I made it. And I guess my point being is many situations where people think they need four-wheel drive, there are typically ways to get through those in a two-wheel drive truck. Some of the advantages with two-wheel drive is typically you can get a little bit more travel out of them. That's subjective to what kit it is, what your make and model of the vehicle is. But generally you get a little more travel because you're not limited by axles of some sort or U-joints. So having more travel properly set up can also equate to better performance. So now this two-wheel drive is smashing through the whoops faster than, say, a four-wheel drive comparable to it. So like I said, it's a generalization. But that being said, you have less moving components, less parts to break. My first day out in Carnage in 2019, brand new truck, brand new build, SVC, all the really good stuff, front differential cracked. Didn't use it, didn't do anything crazy, literally kind of ruined my trip, to be honest with you. A lot of guys, you know, the next Raptor, I was blowing CVs like crazy. So that frustration of having those four-wheel drive components that do get a lot of abuse, but they do also fail, is something where you've seen a lot of guys remove their four-wheel drive. So now they're in these Raptors that started off life as a four-wheel drive, and they're two-wheel drive now because they got tired of all the stuff breaking. There's some proof right there that guys can go through it. I just recently posted a video of a guy that runs all these Baja runs. He's in a two-wheel drive F-150 with 40s on it, and he goes everywhere. Yeah, as soon as the silt beds get there, or the sand gets there, you gotta be on it, you gotta be aired down properly, you gotta have a locker or spool or something along those lines many of the time. But that's where driver skill kind of does come into play, but it can be done. And I guess that's kind of the point of this video, right? So that being said, before you discount, you know, having that four-wheel drive versus two-wheel drive argument, you know, because of those situations, set up on the truck, driving skill, and many times can compensate for it. It just really depends on what you're doing. If you go park the thing in deep sand and you bury the rear axle, yeah, you can press the magic button and pop yourself out of there. If you're with some buddies, you throw a tow strap on it. So it's not the end of the world having a two-wheel drive. I can't tell you how many times, thanks Taylor, that I've gotten pulled out in Glamis because I was getting cocky. It was in my two-wheel drive, and I just knew my buddies would pull me out if I tried something that I maybe not be able to make it up or through, whatever the situation be. But when I'm by myself, I'm very cautious as to what lines I take. And I think my wife's always looking at me like, you better not get stuck. So, you know, I think that's circumstantial to what you're doing, and you got to be smart about it. But let's cover where four-wheel drive is absolutely hands down the best. Mud, snow, super deep sand, especially if you don't have the experience to drive through it. You know, any of those slippery situations where you're going to lose traction, a very steep, you know, hill climb of some sort or whatever, that is where it really does take over. And I think maybe somebody being honest with themselves to what they plan to do with the truck, what terrain they take the truck in, and who they off-road with. That's a big thing. You have to remember that. If you've got guys that are just nonstop trailering the truck to the desert, unload it, run out to the sand jump it a couple times, have a little bit of fun, barely put 50 miles on their rig, two-wheel drive's fine. You can buy a cheap Ranger or Toyota and go have those kind of days. If you want to jump on the road and then drive an hour on the highway till you jump off into the desert and spend 4 or 5 hours doing Barstow to Vegas, you're probably gonna want air conditioning, some creature comforts, some reliability. And there's situations you might be in out there where you don't know about, and that is definitely some peace of mind having four-wheel drive. So that's another thing. Some people have and want the four-wheel drive platform simply for the peace of mind. In pretty much all of my four-wheel drive pre-runners, I keep them all in two-wheel drive all of the time. And I only plop them in the four-wheel drive when I see a situation that I'm like, wow, I'm not gonna be able to make it through that. Plop it in four-wheel drive, get through it, get to the other side, put it right back in the two-wheel drive. Or I try it, I get stuck, put it in four-wheel drive, get unstuck. It's hard to argue with how convenient and awesome that is. Long as you're okay with the extra expenses of having that four-wheel drive vehicle, the extra maintenance, the risks of failures of components like we spoke about for the differentials and axles and so on. So there's trade-offs, and those are the things that I think people just need to be honest with themselves to figure out what's better for them, what they plan on doing with the truck, and then budget and plan accordingly. And I know I touched on it a little bit with driver skill and experience, but I just want to reiterate that because I think that's a bigger part of the component of this whole decision for somebody. Because if you have the years of experience and you know the lines to take and you know how to keep the momentum up, you know how to keep your traction going and so on, that's the guy that is probably going to feel more confident in that two-wheel drive truck. For somebody who's new to it, man, we had a customer in a Chevy, beautiful Dirt King build that we did for him. Super nice bed cage. He came out on a Glamis run with us. We decided to leave Gecko, head down the Duner's Diner, and along the way, we decided to take the mini dunes right alongside the kind of highway that goes all the way to Duner's Diner. He got stuck 3 times. 3 times. And, we had to get straps out, unbury him. And don't get me wrong, that's part of the game. It's part of the fun. We all had a great time. But I just felt bad for him because he's out there with his wife trying to have a good time. He keeps burying it. He's embarrassed. And we're having to get him out of the sand. And he'd just never done it before. He had 0 experience doing it. And somebody like that probably should start off on a 4-wheel drive. Maybe go spend some seat time with somebody to learn the ropes of how to drive in the sand, which is a whole nother conversation. But I guess my point is that driver experience and seat time and learning how to deal with those situations in two-wheel drive should be carefully thought about before somebody makes the financial decision as to what you're going to buy or build. So what would I buy or build today if I could start all over again, or just start from scratch? And what's my ideal truck? For me and my wife, we like reliability. That's huge. I love the built truck thing. Just kind of got tired of failing fuel pumps and hoses and clamps and wiring and so on, and things that go wrong with trucks that have been molested over the years. Having something along these lines where the drivetrains, for the most part, all stock and original, press the button, starts every single time. That's big to me. I don't want to be in the middle of the desert and stuck for something stupid. If I broke it because I hit a ditch, well, that's on me. So that being said, a little bit newer-ish truck. I'd love to have a V8. These EcoBoosts are cool. They go good. They're 450 horsepower stock. But who doesn't love the sound and power and torque of a V8? And the two-wheel drive versus four-wheel drive thing. I mean, that's what this whole video is about. I think for what we are doing right now, I definitely like having four-wheel drive. And I'm the guy that's always telling everybody you don't need it. And I tell everyone you can have a great time in two-wheel drive. And I've had a ton of them. And I will have more. But for what I'm doing right now, I'm going to be honest and say that I kind of like having the four-wheel drive. I would actually sacrifice some of that performance so that when I'm out on the trail and I'm in a situation, I can press the button and get out of trouble. So that's my take. But before you jump to conclusion and make a decision and base it upon what I said I want from myself, You make sure whatever you're deciding is best for you, your budget, your skill level, and your usage. What are you really gonna do with the truck? Be honest with yourself. Like, so many guys say they need this and they need that, and I see these Cajun Link trucks and they're going up and down some trails in Big Bear. That's overkill. So, I guess, just figure out what's gonna suit your needs best. Use this video as maybe some insight or some ideas to help inspire you to making the right decision that suits you best. So I hope you enjoyed this. As always, we appreciate you watching, and we'll see you on the next one.